Right now on NBC 26 at 5, frigid temperatures in northeast Wisconsin, and it looks like another band of snow is headed our way. And staying warm in the cold, we talked with a man cutting and selling firewood in Brown County. But the fireplace not the only way to stay warm. We'll take a look at how to safely heat your home as the mercury drops. And we'll get to all of that soon, but first, let's check in on those temperatures. Gino, single digits today, the wind chill's making it feel even colder than that.
Yes, it has been the coldest day so far of the winter season. Highs were struggling to even get above that 10-degree mark. Green Bay, 12 degrees. Our average high is 24, and it was even colder this morning. Green Bay managed to stay above the 0-degree mark, but I think that streak might be ending later on tonight. Below zero in Antigo, Wapaka, Watoma, Fond du Lac, even Sheboygan and Menominee got in on the action. And even with the temperatures being this cold, when you added the winds, it made it feel like between -10 to -20. The last time Green Bay had a temperature below zero was back in February 9th last year, almost a year ago, and it does look like perhaps tonight we will be breaking that streak. Right now, with clear skies overhead, we are not going to deal with any snow with just a few flurries along parts of the lakeshore areas, but I'll talk more about tonight, and then also we're tracking another accumulating snowfall system on the horizon. I'll have the details in a bit.
Thanks, Gino. So the thick of winter is now upon us, and many people will be staying warm by burning wood in fireplaces. NBC 26's Ryan Curry speaking with a man selling that firewood on how this time of year sees more people stocking up to stay warm.
It's the time of year where all the leaves are gone off the trees and snow is on the ground, and the air has a freezing bite to it. And one man tells me there's no better way for people in Wisconsin to beat the cold than stacking up and burning some firewood. Ray Vanderhoel has been selling wood in Brown County for around 15 years. He says he starts cutting down the wood as early as May, that way it is cured in time for the winter months. He says cured wood is the safest type of wood to burn in one's home, which is what he has stocks of in his yard. However, he told me earlier he's sold out for the rest of the winter with all of his cured wood, telling me the fast approaching cold weather caused many people to buy and stock up on as much wood as possible. And with the many different ways for people to heat up their homes, he says nothing beats burning wood. He says it's also one of the fastest ways to warm up one's home.
Gas is handy, it's convenient, but I like firewood. I like the heat it throws. You come out on a brisk morning and you can smell when somebody's burning wood.
Now, Vanderhoel mentioned the best thing for people to do now is to grab as much firewood as possible as the temperatures start to drop in the negatives. And as far as preparing for next winter, he says it's best to stock up sometimes as early as October or November. That way they're ready for a full winter when the temperatures drop below freezing. Keeping you connected in Green Bay, Ryan Curry, NBC 26.
The American Red Cross says getting ready for this colder weather should come with some simple steps at home. Those fireplaces, also furnaces and chimneys, should be inspected and cleaned before use this winter. Space heaters should be put on level, hard, non-flammable surfaces, and other potential sources of fuel should be kept a safe distance away. Finally, winter storms can cause power outages. Make sure flashlights are around and ready, and keep warm clothing, gloves, hats, boots, all of that around for household members. So what do people think of these ice-cold temperatures? That's what we're asking people in Green Bay today. And no surprise, people would prefer the warmth out there. One guy pushing carts at Festival says he'd rather it be 110 degrees outside. Dream on. Others are taking this cold in stride as much as one can.
I'm a summer baby, so I prefer the warm, but cold is cold. As long as you got a car, you ain't got nothing to worry about.
Never again will I complain in those warm summer months. Covering America now, U.S. and North Korean diplomats are meeting in Sweden as part of efforts to end the standoff between the two countries. A diplomatic source says the purpose of these talks is to advance relations between the two countries after that slowed following the first summit. President Trump and Kim Jong-un have agreed to hold a second summit meeting before the end of next month. The U.S. government partial shutdown has now hit 30 days, exactly 2 years since President Trump's inauguration. The president's latest deal to reopen the government includes protection for the so-called Dreamers, but still billions of dollars for his border wall. Democrats say that's no deal. NBC's Jennifer Johnson with the latest from Washington.
President Trump's latest compromise to end the 30-day partial government shutdown, already hitting a wall with Democrats.
It's outrageous, and he's just playing politics, and this is a bad deal.
The president's latest proposal still includes $5.7 billion for his border wall, but offering Democrats this compromise: 3 years of legal status to 700,000 so-called dreamers, immigrants brought to the U.S. as children, and to 300,000 refugees whose temporary protected status will expire.
This extension will give them access to work permits, Social Security numbers, and protection from deportation.
Republicans call this a good compromise.
Let's find a way to be able to get the government open, because there are elements in this that are clearly elements that have been supported by Democrats strongly in the past.
But Democrats want permanent protection for those immigrants and are unwilling to give the president billions for a wall, as 800,000 federal workers still go without paychecks.
Do you think people have hurt so far? Come this Thursday, there's going to be a second pay period without a check. And then the beginning of the month with all the bills coming due.
House Speaker Nancy Pelosi tweeted, "What we didn't hear from the president was any sympathy for the federal workers," and says the deal is a non-starter. But Senate Majority Leader Mitch McConnell will bring the proposal to the Senate for a vote, likely on Tuesday. Jennifer Johnson, NBC News, Washington.
President Trump's proposal for the immigration deal did not go over well among U.S.-bound migrants and immigration activists in Mexico. Just south of the U.S. border in Tijuana, migrants and activists saying they regret President Trump's unwavering demand for that border wall. Still, yesterday's speech did not seem to discourage Honduran migrants who are part of a caravan headed for the southern U.S. border. Still ahead on NBC 26, the super blood wolf moon. No, it's not a Twilight movie. It's what we'll be seeing in tonight's nighttime sky. But first, how long are these bitter cold temperatures going to stay, and when are we going to get another round of snow? Gino's got your answers in the forecast next.